Hello and welcome to my Rob Talk. Actually, this is episode 20 of the podcast for the recently diagnosed, which is a chronicling of my journey with Parkinson's disease. And I wanted to make this episode a little bit different than most of them, just because, I don't know, 20 seemed like a pretty significant number, and this is the 20th episode. So I wanted to kind of take a step back a little bit and talk about kind of the arc of my journey so far. I found out that I was diagnosed with Parkinson's after I had been playing in a band for a few years, and even to take a step before that, when I hit my mid-50s, I thought I really need to have some sort of plan for my retirement. I guess it might be a little late in the game to be thinking about retirement. You should start way earlier, obviously. But I was just looking at what I was going to do with my time. And I always wanted to be in a band, so I decided to set a goal that by the time I was 60, I would be playing in a rock and roll band on the weekends. No big deal, just wanted to get out there and have some fun. So I learned how to play bass. And after a few years of doing that, well, it was a few years of practice getting ready, and then finally getting out, helping to form a band, getting out and playing. And then I noticed after a while, a few years, that I was having trouble with my fretting hand. I was having cramping, and I just couldn't move my fingers really the way I had previously been able to do. And I tried using all kinds of balms and different things. I was using like Tiger Balm and Ben Gay and all kinds of stuff, trying to get my cramping to go away. Started taking some Aleve before shows. I was trying just everything because I just thought, this is weird, but maybe I'm just overworking my forearm or whatever. And then I went to the doctor after a while and found that I was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. So this put a wrench in the works. I really couldn't play full gigs anymore. I still like to play and do play occasionally. We have a gang in our neighborhood that gets together like once a month and has a little jam. So that's a lot of fun, but it's not like being in a band. And I became sort of lost because I couldn't do my job as a software analyst anymore because my brain function just wasn't what it used to be. I have a little bit of cognitive issues from Parkinson's disease, and those, although I have no trouble with my day-to-day functionality, working the intricate pieces of the puzzle that was part of my job as a software analyst, I didn't have that capacity. I also was super distracted, like I couldn't stop thinking about the Parkinson's disease. And after a little while, I got another great diagnosis. I had prostate cancer. So now I have these two things going on. I was able to stop working, and my doctor said, your full-time job now is taking care of yourself, like your physical self, and working with, doing cardiovascular exercise, cardiovascular exercise is the one thing that is clinically proven to slow the progression of Parkinson's. So I had that going, but I really didn't have anything I was passionate about. And then a friend of mine who I had met on the Michael J. Fox discussion boards mentioned to me that there was a climbing group forming in Charleston, and I decided, hey, I would like to try that. So I went to this meeting, and it was Catalyst Sports, which I'm wearing. There's this Catalyst logo, whatever. And I went and really enjoyed it. And after a few times, one of the guys, the guy who runs the Charleston chapter of Catalyst, Ian, said, hey, there's a competition going on in Atlanta. If you'd like to go to that, that might be a cool experience. And I thought, oh, that would be a cool experience. And the guy who runs the climbing wall here on James Island in South Carolina found out that a few of us were going to this competition and invited us to join Team Charleston. So I'm pretty excited. I got this cool little tank top, and now I am officially part of Team Charleston. And I went to that competition, was pretty excited about that, and didn't know anything about climbing. And this climbing specifically is paraclimbing, of course, so people who have disabilities or whatever. And I ended up climbing and I got third place, and I was pretty excited about that. Later on, I found out that I was actually classified in the wrong division. So I was classified as RP2, which RP is reduced power, and 2 means like 2 of your limbs have less functionality. And I do have some limited functionality in my left ankle, but it doesn't limit me much. But my my left hand, I don't have much grip. So a lot of holds in climbing are like pinching. So when I didn't really find out about that until the next step was I was I was told about a competition in Oakland, which was the national climbing competition for paraclimbing. And I thought, well, I'm sure that I'm not going to do really well in this. But I went there and found out actually I am RP3, which means I just have one limb that has some reduced power, which is more accurate. So probably I shouldn't have got placed third in that competition in Atlanta, but live and learn and move on. So I went to the nationals, and one of the things that happened in that kind of time frame was I became part of Team Catalyst. I love Catalyst sports. They are awesome. They aren't limited just to climbing. They do a lot of different sports. I think they do some water sports, and they do climbing and just all kinds of stuff that have to do with people with disabilities. So if you have a disability of any sort and you live in the southeastern United States, think about looking up Catalyst sports and maybe you'll find something as well. So then I went to nationals and I came in 6th place. 6th place in the nation. I was really stoked about that. Except there really were only 6 people there competing in RP3. But still, I competed. I didn't embarrass myself. I thought I did pretty well. And I got a nifty t-shirt for that, which is USA Climbing. And because I came in 6th place, or I guess just because I competed, I ended up getting invited to be a part of the US climbing team, the paraclimbing team. And the top 4 people are officially on the team, and then the other people who didn't qualify in the top 4 are part of the developmental squad. So I'm on the developmental squad for Team USA. Rock on. So basically what I'm saying is you don't know where life is taking you, and you might feel like I felt like really a gut punch when I got Parkinson's, and then kind of got the double whammy when I got the prostate cancer. So I'm just dealing with that, but I never would have really gotten into climbing for sure if those things wouldn't have happened. And really it's become a big part of my life, and I really enjoy climbing. But also you have to have some sort of thing that gets you excited to wake up in the morning, I think. And sometimes people can take something, you get handed something like Parkinson's, and could be really easy just to kind of give up. This is my life, is what it is, and nothing I can do about it. But really there are things you can do about it. You can exercise, you can try different supplements, you can get involved in clinical trials. There's a lot of things you can do, and really you need to do things that that get you excited to wake up in the morning, no matter what age you are, no matter what's going on in your life. So that's my message for today. You never know where things are going to take you in your life, so forge ahead and do everything you can to bring joy into your life. There's a message. Thanks. Have a great day.